What up, Blockchain Nation? What up, YouTube? Thank you so much for taking the time to subscribe to this channel. If you haven't, please hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the bell so that you can get weekly notifications whenever I release videos. And for those who watch these videos consistently, I want to say a big thank you. You are indeed far too kind. So what's the hullabaloo or the fuss about blockchain technology, and is it possible that you will not have a job in 5 years? Maybe, maybe not. But this is what I'm going to do in this video. I'm just going to highlight some industries that I think that blockchain technology will greatly affect and already is affecting. So it's just important that you know what's going on, just to know if you need to change what you're doing, or if you can leverage on this, which might happen or might not happen, but I definitely think it's going to happen. So if you're ready, so I'm ready. So imagine if you could figure out exactly what it is that's going to happen next 10 years, that would be great, right? If everybody had a crystal ball. But I think the writing's on the wall, and I definitely think there's some things that we should take a look at. So here are the industries that I think blockchain technology is currently affecting or may affect in the future. So the question is, would you have a job in 5 years? Anyways, first is banking and payments. Now, banks are great, but the question is, what do banks do? They're intermediaries, which basically are custodians for our money. And nowadays, you wonder why it is from a retail perspective. Why you have your money with a bank, and the bank charges you $10, $15 if you do not have a particular balance in your account, which makes absolutely no sense. So that's not sustainable. Why will I use a bank account if I can transfer money from here to anywhere around the world for limited fees, and it can happen in less time? Right now, if you want to send money from here to China, you have to go to your bank, fill out some applications, fill out some paperwork, send the money. It takes 2 or 3 days. It's actually faster to actually put that money inside a briefcase and fly to China than it needs to transfer that money there. I'm just saying. But thankfully, due to applications like Bitcoin, which Bitcoin is a software protocol that you use to transfer money over the internet, and also an application called Abra. Abra is a really cool app that I think you should install. I did a previous video on Abra. You can actually transfer money from here to anywhere around the world instantly. Well, not anywhere around the world. Currently, Abra has a certain number of countries that you can transfer to, but they are increasing as we're having this conversation. So currently they have, I don't know what the figure is, but download the app and check it out, where you can transfer money between USD and pesos and different currencies around the world instantly, and that's huge. So I think that's really going to affect banking and payments for companies like what do they call Western Union, that charge ridiculous fees just to send money overseas. For remittance costs, I just think that this is just a battle that they might just lose. So definitely blockchain technology is going to kill banking and payments, in my personal opinion. Second area is in supply chain management. It's interesting how you have different products that move all around the world. And imagine if you could walk into a supermarket. Like now, if you walk into a supermarket and you want to buy, let's say, apples, and on the box of the apples or on the package, it says that these apples were from Nicaragua. How do you really know the apples are from Nicaragua? But if the entire history of the apple, from production to shipping to packaging, was on a blockchain, you can actually take that apple, scan a QR code on the apple, and it will give you the entire history of the apple from beginning to end, which is powerful. And things like that are already happening. There are companies like Provenance, Fluent, SkuChain, and BlockVerify that are already making great innovations in the area of supply chain management. So that's definitely an industry too that you need to take a look at in terms of what blockchain technology is into that industry. Third is online data storage. Now, if you want to have a decent or an application, most applications are centralized. What that means is, let's say I build a website and I want to upload my website. I acquire a domain name, but I need somebody to host that site for me, which means I'll build the website, build the entire code for the website, and I'll dump it on some server somewhere. Now, that's very centralized. If I'm a company or if I'm an individual like myself, like my personal website is hosted by some internet service provider or some hosting facility, like GoDaddy.com. Now, if GoDaddy were to go down, then my site is down. So it's very, very centralized. But that's changing due to companies like things like StoreJ and IPFS. IPFS is amazing. IPFS, I'll probably do a video on that later, where you can actually have a decentralized web server, which means that once I upload my site online, it's independent of a central location. Unlike what the example I gave you, GoDaddy. If something happens to GoDaddy, my entire website is down. That's not the case with IPFS. So online data storage is also something that's powerful, and blockchain is changing that. Fourth is insurance. Now, insurance is interesting. How insurance companies work is they are like a third party or a middleman, whereby if you insure your car, something happens to your car, They go out and check it out, they investigate, and if they find out that yes, you're liable, you're not liable, they pay out or they don't pay out, and then they kind of readjust what you will pay in terms of your insurance fees based on how many accidents or how many claims you have the entire year. That's a manual process, and you have huge insurance companies that are handling all that for ridiculous fees. But you can put that entire process on the blockchain. You can build a smart contract that will only pay out after it verifies, maybe through some external party like an Oracle, which will now validate that yes, your insurance claim makes sense, and then you are paid out. So that process I've just mentioned can actually be automated. It can be done cheaper. It can be done faster without using a central authority like an insurance company. So insurance companies, you better watch out. Fifth is private transportation and ride sharing. Now we have centralized authority or centralized institutions like Uber, like Lyft, whereby if I want to request for a ride, I am not worried that the driver will be some psychopath, because I believe that Uber has vetted his driver. Same thing with the driver. The driver is not worried that he will get paid by the customer, or she will get paid by the customer, because she knows that there's an app and the customer's credit card information is tied to that app. So once the request is made, the driver is rest assured that the driver will get funds, and also the passenger is also rest assured that the driver will take him or her to the location. So everybody's fine because of this third party or this centralized institution called Uber or Lyft. But that doesn't have to be the case. That entire process can be automated on the blockchain. And to take it even further, when we move into driverless cars like electric cars, the entire process can be done on the blockchain. The car will have its own built-in blockchain, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency wallet, and also a smart contract can also do the entire process, which means pay out the driver and at the same time make sure that the customer gets to where the customer is supposed to get to. If the customer doesn't get to where the customer is supposed to get to, then the driver or the car in this case will not get paid. You might not even need a driver in the future. You might not even need to drive these cars in the future. So that's definitely a big one. 6 is online music. Oh, just a quick one for private transportation and ride sharing. We have Arcade City and Lazuz. These are actually companies that are actually building these applications like this as we speak. 6 is online music. Online music. So this is a huge ripoff for artists. Before, if you release a song and it has a million views, you could get paid, I don't know, 50,000, 60,000, or million sales. This was back in the 80s when people used to make LPs. You could get, I don't know, $60,000, $100,000, depending on how your song does. But now you could be an artist and you can have 10 million views, in fact, 1 billion views on YouTube, and you might not even get paid, I don't know, $200. It's crazy, right? But with online music, Mycelia and Ujo Music, they are creating a blockchain application where people will pay to view. So that way, once I'll not really go into the modalities because I'm not sure if I have all the details. I'm not taking time to research this, but the overarching theme is kind of like how DTube works, whereby as customers or as retailers or as users are watching or listening to the music, it's creating tokens or it's creating some kind of cryptocurrency that will credit the artist's account. Now that's one form, one standard, or one way to do it. Another way to do it is just to build the entire blockchain whereby the consumer cannot even listen to the song unless they actually do some kind of payments through a smart contract or through a wallet, which is actually great. And that helps the artist to be paid their worth. All right, so 7, we have voting. Voting, we have Democracy Earth and Follow My Vote. This is a very, very big one. This can be done entirely through a smart contract. There's a lot of rigging involved in voting when you have centralized authorities, but this makes it very transparent. So voting is transparent. I'm considering building actually a voting application for this 2020 United States elections, something I've been working on and thinking about for a very, very long time. So voting is a very good one. It's a very good industry that needs transparency, that needs some kind of not a central authority, but a way that a public ledger where everyone can verify and see and authenticate even voters to make sure the right people are registering to vote. So voting is a big industry that can also be disrupted. And then number 8, we have energy management. Energy management is a company called Transactive Grid. I've also seen this concept with internet usage. Imagine if you're a user or you have your internet at home and you can actually share your internet with your neighbors, which is very, very cool. And it's not necessarily a hotspot, but it's a different kind of concept that allows you to share your internet with your neighbors and also get paid for doing that. And I forget the name of the company, but I also know that this happens in energy management as well. The name of the company is Transactive Grid, whereby in countries like Europe, in the United States, and other countries like that have the ability you can actually share your energy with your neighbors. That way you can almost get your bill for free because you are distributing your energy, your neighbors are using what they need, and it's just a win-win for everybody. Ninth is real estate. There's a company called Ubiquity that's also working on a platform, a real estate platform. I know I've heard a story about the great motivational speaker Les Brown, who bought a house for his mom. He had no idea that there was a lien on the house, which was just tragic. So 10, 20 days after he had closed the house, he was called by, he had to pay on the lien on the house, and he didn't have the fund for that. He lost his house. Now imagine if all this information is in the public ledger. You can see straight up if the house has any liens on it. You can see if there are any issues with the house. It's public information, cryptographically secured, and it helps people so that they don't fall into those kind of traps whereby you have a lien in your house and you have a lien on a house that you buy, which is just absolutely crazy. And the last industry that might be or will be disrupted by blockchain technology is your industry. If you're an industry that uses data and transactions and a central authority and a middleman, then blockchain solutions is a very, very, very easy way to disrupt that industry. So I hope that helps. The focus of this story or me giving all these points is not to scare you, but just to enlighten you that, hey, blockchain is a big thing, it's a big movement for you to get involved in. I think, in my personal opinion, you should get involved so you can be ahead of the curve, so you can look for ways whereby you can use this technology to either help your industry, or if the industry is left behind, you're already in a good position because you have the skills, you have the tools, you have the knowledge to move forward. Imagine if you're working for Blockbusters for years and someone told you, hey, Netflix is around the corner, this is going to be the next big thing. Well, Netflix, Blockbusters does not even exist today. And imagine Blockbusters had an opportunity to buy Netflix and they didn't. That doesn't even make sense. Anyway, so now there's no more Blockbusters, but there's Netflix, because Netflix has disrupted that industry. So blockchain will disrupt a lot of things. So I think you should definitely get involved. And that's why I'm going to close by saying my wish for you is that you learn about blockchain technology, because blockchain is changing and will change the world, especially this distributed ledger technology space. And it's my personal opinion that those that get involved early will greatly impact the future. And if that's you, then let's go change the world, baby.